Well, diabetes is causing, I see a lot of people's legs and limbs being amputated because of the diabetes.
Okay.
And my mother is for one.
Really?
Yes. 3 years ago, they had to amputate one of her legs.
And how long had she had diabetes?
Didn't know she had it.
Oh, okay.
It was caused poor circulation in the bloodstream, and before it got to the point where, you know, it would set up gangrene. They had to amputate it because any blood flow wasn't going to her feet.
So that was a shock for her and the family?
A big one, because she's the type of person, she likes to go.
Uh-huh.
And she's been in a wheelchair ever since.
Is that right? And how long ago was that?
For 3 years now.
Okay. How's she doing otherwise?
Otherwise, she's doing pretty good.
Good.
Except for the other leg, she can't do no standing on it.
Uh-huh.
And she's got a prosthetic, you know, one of those prosthetic legs. But she can't use
Uh-huh. So she pretty much
to the wheelchair.
wheelchair. Okay.
We have to do a lot of lifting.
Is she heavy?
Somewhat, yes. Yes.
Is she the only one in your family then that has diabetes?
No, my husband is a diabetic.
Oh, really?
Yes, it runs heavy in his family.
Okay. And how long has he had diabetes?
Oh, practically all of his life.
Really? So was he young?
But
Young.
yes. The others was later on in life, before the doctors diagnosed their being a diabetic.
Right. So does he have type 1? Does he take insulin all the time?
Insulin.
Okay. All right. So he may be one of those people that has type 1. And type 2 is the one that comes later in life,
Okay.
usually.
And type 2 is what happens with type 2?
With type 2, people are usually overweight, and not always. And sometimes people who are real thin and trim can get type 2 as well. But one of the things that we usually see is that people are overweight, sometimes obese, extremely overweight, don't get a lot of activities, do a lot of sitting, and
They eat a lot of room foods.
you know, so we're, you know, one of the concerns and why we're doing this work is because we're seeing more and more people in that kind of condition, that they're overweight, they may be obese, they're just not getting very active, and the concern is that it's starting younger and younger and younger, so now we're seeing grade school children who are getting type 2 diabetes really very young. So that's one of the things we're concerned about. You live here in Macon.
Yes.
So when you get out shopping and you know, out in the community, do you see children that are overweight?
Yes. Right now we're working with the ministry center on Feed the Children's.
Uh-huh.
And let's see, 1, 2, I know of 2 that is really overweight.
And how old are they?
They're young.
Yeah. So that's one of our big concerns, is that we're trying to figure out how can we prevent this from happening. If we don't make a difference, if we don't prevent it, we're looking at within the next few years of maybe 50% of the people in the country actually having type 2 diabetes. It's getting to be that big of a problem. And right here in Mississippi now, this is one of the states that they've said where obesity, the problem, overweight, is the biggest problem in the whole nation. So we want to do some things to make some changes here. And I'm looking for people to help me figure out what that would be.
All right, some people is, say is born early life with diabetes. Now, some medicines can make you a diabetic. say you can control your weight, or you can eat right and never become a diabetic. Or say that you get sick and the medicine helps you with the problem that you have, but in place it causes another problem that makes you a diabetic. So how?
Well, that doesn't actually. It's usually not medicine that makes people have diabetes. That would be a rather unusual thing that would happen.
Now my uncle, before he passed, and it doesn't run in our family as having diabetes, but he was one before he died.
And he may have had it for a long time.
It never shown up.
And never had it diagnosed. Very, very often what we find is that sometimes people actually have diabetes for 5 or 6 years or more before it ever gets diagnosed. And for some people it might never get diagnosed. So that's, again, we want people to get tested, to get screened, but we kind of need to do some things on the other side where we're helping to prevent this. So one of the things we know is that the things we eat make a difference. Right? So the kinds of food that we eat can make us healthy, or they can put us at risk. And I've noticed when I come here that a lot of fried chicken going on.
Yes.
You fry chicken?
I do occasionally. And I bake. I boil.
But you're thin.
Yes.
So how do you stay thin?
I don't know. I wish I could gain. My children are larger than I am.
Are they?
But I love to cook. And I guess by cooking too much, I don't eat as much.
So you cook it and just give it for others.
I love to see other people eat. I guess that's a shame, isn't it?
Oh, I bet not. I bet your children just love to come and have you cook them a meal.
My daughter, she calls sometime from college. She said, "Mama, I wish I was home. Or I wish you was closer so I could just run home and get something to eat."
And what's her favorite?
Everything. Everything.
Whatever you fix.
Whatever
you fix. That's good.
A lot of times we eat salads. My mom's sugar, the highest it ever got, I believe it was 134. Don't go up in that 200 bracket.
That's good. So she's doing pretty good now.
Yeah. I have her with me.
She lives with you?
She lives with me.
So you're busy taking care of her and
trying to
helping your husband?
Yes. I got 3 here in school.
3 in school?
1 in college.
Oh my. Well, you are a busy lady then. So you still have to do some cooking then?
Yes.
Are you the chief cook in the house now, or does your mom do some cooking too?
Yeah.
So you do most of the cooking?
Except my youngest twin, which is 14. And she loved to cook.
Does she?
Yes.
And so, do you cook big meals, 3 meals a day, or tell me about?
Normally, yes.
You do?
Breakfast, dinner, and then supper.
Okay, so what's a usual breakfast you make?
Breakfast changes up. Some mornings it might be cereal. Then I'll cook bacon, eggs, grits. And just switch up.
So, would you have all of those together?
The bacon, the egg, yes.
Yes, okay. And you make biscuits too?
Sometimes they have biscuits.
Okay, but that's not a regular.
No.
Okay. So, and what was typical lunch look like?
Oh, we might have baked chicken, greens, cornbread.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I might feel pretty good and I might do chicken spaghetti.
Oh, what's that?
Chicken spaghetti.
Uh-huh. I don't think I've ever had that.
Really?
Yeah.
You use your leg quarters.
Uh-huh.
You bone it after you cook it. Then you boil your spaghetti. And you put bell pepper and onion in the juice that the chicken was cooked in. That's what you cook your spaghetti in.
Mm.
And that bit of cheese.
Mm-hmm.
And rotel dip. Rotel.
Uh-huh.
And maybe a can of cream of mushroom.
Sounds interesting.
It's good.
It's good, huh?
I'm writing down that recipe.
She's right. It is really good.
And so now at dinner time, do you have another big meal, or do you have
It
kind
might
of
be light. Sometimes I might just do a ham sandwich.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you tend to have your bigger meal in the middle of the day.
If I have a big meal for lunch, then for supper we're going to eat light and probably do a salad.
Uh-huh.
Boil my eggs and cut my eggs up over it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And then your husband and mom and children that are home, that this is the way they eat also?
Yeah.
Okay.
I cook one thing, everybody eats. I try to cook what everybody can eat.
Uh-huh.
Not just for this, this for that. Food is too expensive.
Yes. This is very expensive,
It
isn't it?
is.
And what about eating out? Do you all eat out?
Not often. Not often. Now my little one, she likes chicken bites. And she might get treated once a week on that.
Mm-hmm.
And the twins, they have a tendency, well, Mama, we want to go out. So I might treat them to some Chinese food.
Mm.
That if the money is right.
Mm-hmm. So, but eating out is not something you do?
No.
You don't
practice that.
Not much. And do you?
Once in a while,
Uh-huh.
they take the children out, but not every day.
And do you do the shopping for the family?
Yes.
And where do you go and get your groceries? Here in town?
Mm-hmm.
And they mostly have things that you want or need there?
Yes.
Okay. Do you find that, do you ever shop out of town? Do you ever shop in other places? Grocery shopping?
Well, I don't make it a point
Right.
to go,
Mm-hmm.
and if I'm maybe in Columbus, we'll stop, might pick up something that we need,
Okay.
but for just
Your regular shopping, you just do
going
regular.
out of town,
I just wondered if the prices were about the same, or if you noticed any difference.
it might be a little bit cheaper, but you have to consider you got to drive that distance.
That's right. That makes a difference.
It makes a big difference.
That makes a big difference, yeah. All right, so let's talk about activity, getting physical activity. These days, a lot of children are watching television quite a bit. What's your experience? What do you see happening?
With the television?
Uh-huh.
Oh, boy. It is, it got outrageous. Even the cartoons now is not fitting for the children to watch anymore. And I have to keep on it because they are turned to one. And I said, oh no, what is that? They said, oh Mom, it's just a cartoon. I said, I know it's not. And I think cartoons should be strictly for children.
Mm-hmm.
But now they got adults. And you can't watch your children 24/7.
Mm-hmm. difficult, isn't
It
it?
is. It makes it hard on the parents.
Now, do your children use a computer?
Yes.
Do you have one at home? Or,
Mm-hmm.
and do they spend a lot of time on that?
Well, my daughter right now home from college, and she's bees on it quite a bit. And now my twins, they get on there, but they get on there looking for that bump, the bump, the bump, the bump. And I have to tell them sometimes, unless it is homework involved, leave some of that off.
Mm-hmm.
So I pretty much.
You kind of keep an eye on them.
Oh yes.
Okay.
You can't afford not to.
And do they play games, computer games, or?
Yes, they got one. I try to keep something for them. The things plug into the TV
Mm-hmm.
to keep them.
That Wii? You have Wii?
No, not the Wii. That's a little bit too expensive.
Okay.
But you can get some more a little cheaper than that.
All right.
And they got like, the baby got one for Christmas. And we was out on the patio for the 4th of July. And I got on this little motorcycle thing you plug into the TV.
Mm-hmm.
And they play that. And I got one that loved basketball.
Mm-hmm.
And one plays the flute. So they pretty much got their hands full.
So they're busy.
Yes.
They're busy. And how old are your children?
One is 19,
Uh-huh.
soon to be 20. The twins is 14. It'll be 15 in February. And the youngest is 6.
Okay. So you have a big range there, don't you?
Yes.
Are the twins both girls, or are they?
All 4 of them girls.
They're all 4 girls. Oh,
All
your poor
4
husband. He's outnumbered, isn't he?
House full of your ladies.
Now, are you involved in any groups in the community?
Right now, working with Marika and I'm out at the ministry center.
Mm-hmm.
We done doing that for 2 months.
Okay.
And other than that, I works at the discount store,
Mm-hmm.
part-time.
Okay. And church member?
Yes, Emmanuel Baptist Church.
Okay. And are you pretty involved in your church? Or?
Well, everybody plays a little role there.
Okay. And so one of the things I'm trying to learn about is how can we get healthy messages out to people in the community? How can we do that? So some people seem to be saying that maybe through the church would be a good thing.
Well, through the church and airing it, excuse me, airing it on TV, which they got a lot of that on there about diabetics.
Mm-hmm.
And
You have a local television station?
in Columbus,
In Columbus. Okay.
WCBI.
Write that down so I'll remember that. WCBI.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you have a local radio station too?
98.9, I'm trying to see where. I think it comes out of Columbus, I'm not mistaken. I think they got one in Allisford too.
Okay. So maybe putting things on the radio or the television, local television might be a good way to.
Because you got people that gonna watch television.
That's right. Yeah.
And when you're riding in your cars, you're gonna listen to the radio.
Absolutely. That's right. People pay attention more at those times,
Yes.
don't they? And do you have other ideas about ways to get information out to the community?
Rallies.
And how would you have a rally?
I suppose that would take the church to get involved with that. to get people to come together.
Does your church have regular rallies or big meetings or?
No, we work with Relay for Life.
Oh, do you?
My pastor's wife, I believe, was one of the chairpersons on that. But and she could probably get something going there.
Do you have a women's club or women's group in your church?
They have
How about for men?
I don't know if the women's have one or not.
Men ever meet together? Men are hard to catch. You know, they're hard to get to talking sometimes about good health and taking care of themselves. Do you have any ideas about that?
Well, you find a lot of them now. They're somewhat overweight in I'm not overweight, but I imagine if you could get some together and they could get it started and get some more involved.
Mm-hmm. Just a challenge, isn't it?
It is.
Now, does your husband farm? Do you all have a garden?
No, we don't have one. It's been rather hot this year.
Mm-hmm.
And the peaches, they didn't do too
They didn't
good.
form well, did they?
No,
Not enough rain?
not enough rain, and the figs there. I know it's time for them to be ripe. They're not even ripe yet.
Mm.
It's been kind of rough this year.
So if you don't have a garden, are you able to get fresh fruits and vegetables?
Sometimes
And where do you get those from?
we have a market here, a little market.
Uh-huh.
I think Vermillo is involved in that. Out on the bypass.
Okay.
Little farmers market.
Mm-hmm.
They have fresh.
And do you go out there and
I
buy
have
things?
gone out there.
And but you don't do it regular.
No,
Just once in a while you're out or take a notion.
you can't afford to.
Okay. All right. So it's expensive.
It's not expensive, but with, I say, sure was in college and school, you kind of have to balance it. And the discount store, we carry a lot of variety, but we don't carry fruit,
Mm-hmm.
you know, fresh fruit.
Mm-hmm.
But it's very reasonable stuff that you get there.
Mm-hmm. So you work in one of these dollar stores here in town?
There's a discount store right down the streets from here.
Okay. I'll have to come shopping.
You'll be surprised what you might find.
I'm sure I would. I always love to go in dollar stores because it's always a surprise what you're going to find, isn't
This
it?
one comes in there and she said, I know when I'm coming, I'm going to find something that nobody else has.
That's right. And things you didn't know you needed. Now, does your husband still working or no?
He's retired.
He's retired. Okay. So do you put him to work doing dishes or something? No. No, that doesn't work, huh?
The twins, I have them rotate.
Okay.
They have a week
Uh-huh.
of doing dishes. And on Monday, it starts the other one off until Sunday.
Okay.
He rotates it.
That's good. Now, do you do dishes along with them, or
Sometimes I
sometimes?
will. If
So-
they're doing something else now, they'll wash.
Uh-huh.
And the oldest twin, I said the oldest twin, she do the ironing.
Mm-hmm.
She do keep their uniforms up.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now they're in school, and do they ever come home and say anything about the school lunches? What do they say?
It's bad.
Really?
Mama, they need to get you over there to cook. They don't like it. Want to say, well, I didn't eat anything today. I was waiting till I get home.
Mm-hmm.
None of them ever liked it at school food.
You ever complain? Would it do any good if you did?
I don't think one person would make a difference. It would have to get more parents involved in it to see what is wrong with it, that the children don't like it.
Mm-hmm. Do you ever talk to any of the other parents about that?
Several of us have talked about it, and they said their children were saying the same thing.
Uh-huh.
They didn't like it. And I don't know, I guess in some people's, in cooking for a large quantity, it's not seasoned like you would just cook yours at home.
Sure. Now, do your twins, do they talk about physical education at school, or gym class, or getting activity at school?
But they are in gym class.
Okay.
And they haven't said anything that they didn't like it or anything.
Mm-hmm.
But both of them take gym.
Do you know how often they go?
I think it's once a week. I'm not for sure.
Okay. So it must not be the favorite class, because they would talk about it more.
Well, I think they get tired. But see, about Chiquita playing basketball, she have to try to stay in shape.
Okay. So she plays one of the twins plays basketball.
Play basketball.
And the other one plays the flute.
Plays the flute.
I figured that out. Okay. And are they both pretty fit? They take after you?
No,
They're a little bigger.
they're bigger.
Okay. So they like to eat a little bit more than you do.
Yes.
They like that cooking you're making up for
And
them.
then the youngest one, if I don't cook, she gonna cook.
All right. Okay. Just to kind of wrap things up here, I just wanted to ask you one last question, and that's, what do you think the most important thing is that people need to know about diabetes?
The most important thing is that they need to start to eating healthier, which would cut down on that sugar that's rising so high, because it's easy to go into a coma with it, a sugar coma. And to cut back, period, on eating.
And get active.
Start walking, which I try to get my girls to do.
Are you successful?
Well, sometimes they say, well, we can walk around the block. I walk. And little one said, can I walk? I said, sure. And she is, I tell her all the time, you're going to be my slim baby. Mama, I don't see how you can say she's going to be slim. Look how she eats. But she eats, but she gonna eat a large quantity at one time. She'll nibble.
Right. Do you think that, and I said that was the last question, but I'm going to ask you one more. If you remember back to when you were a young girl, how would you see times different now than?
Oh, it is a whole lot different. The children's are different, and the peoples in general are different. Because when I was coming up as a child, older peoples could chastise you, but now We can't chastise people's children. And people was more closer, looked like when I was coming up. If a person knew you was in need or sick, they was there.
Mm-hmm.
Not just one. But people don't do that anymore. The love for one another now is not like it was back then.
Mm-hmm.
That was pure love back then.
So times have changed.
Yes, drastically.
Maybe not so much for the better.
It's not.
Yeah.
It wasn't as much crime when I was a child. And now, it just gone haywire.
When you got up in the morning, did you have to walk to school?
When I was, yes, we didn't ride buses. Even if we lived in town, only the children in the county out could ride the buses.
Mm-hmm.
And if it was raining, if your parents didn't take you, you walked.
Mm-hmm.
But now, they got routes in town.
Mm-hmm.
Pick up. We didn't have that.
Mm-hmm. So you had to walk a lot more
Yeah.
than.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
walking. All the modern things that they have now. Early age, we didn't have that. It was later in years. It was in a wooden building.
Well, I don't know that we'll ever go back to those things. You think?
No, I think they're gone.
I think they're gone. Yeah, I think they're gone too. So we're going to have to find some new ways, to do things. And you're working with some children now?
Yes, yes.
And what's the work that you do with them?
The work we're doing with them is a Feed the Children's program, but it's more than that. They have Bible study. They are split up into groups.
Mm-hmm.
Arts and crafts, and storytelling to the young. It's just different, And I'm the main cook.
And you're the main cook. All right. And do they all love your cooking?
Yes, they do.
I bet so. All right. I think.
And I'm learning. I also have a class there too.
Do you? What's your class?
Cross stitching.
Oh, so you're teaching some young people cross
Cross
stitching.
stitching, the ones that, and you'll be surprised of the ones that want to learn.
How old are the children?
The youngest might be 8. Might be 8.
What about the oldest?
11, 12.
So you're teaching some young people how to do cross stitching?
Yes, I've shown them. I got a display out there
Uh-huh.
of the work that I've done.
Oh, I bet
Yes.
it's beautiful.
And I've shown them how they can make beautiful pictures to hang on their walls.
Wonderful.
Yes, I love it.